Games Journalists started off mad about this game, Jeremy.
I know it.
Because back in November, we got this big hit piece against Black Myth Wukong and their developers. How Black Myth Wukong developers' history of sexism is complicating its journey to the West. Indie developer Game Science Global Fame is forced to confront its own sexism and that of the Chinese tech industry. Now, this was an IGN article co-written by two miserable women, which they tried to push this idea that, look at what some of the developers have said. They said such sexist things. It's disgusting. How dare they? And what ended up happening, and this was like the translation they got from something like this. The snake spirit is different from what I imagined, but if I cover the bottom half with my hand, it's still possible to jerk off. Mr. Dai, you need to adjust your face. The uncanny valley effect's too distracting. Reply, look at it more and you can jerk off to it. Although I'm not used to the snake neck yet, but it can still be nurtured. Okay, Black Myth Wukong has changed my fetish. Now, these were supposedly, look at what these developers are saying. Jesus. One, these things are one, it's not that big of a deal to begin with. Two, they've been mistranslated. And, basically like actual native Chinese speakers look at this and they say, no, that's not exactly what the direct translation would mean. And this is more of just kind of like an idiom that we would use like in everyday life. So this entire hit piece was based on lies from IGN. But the problem is it got written and has just been repeated over and over and over again to the point where now that it's coming out from places like Screen Rant reviewing it early, Black Myth Wukong, the Souls-like action hype train, is a little off rails. They decided to give it a 3 out of 10. And why, you ask?
Lacking diversity.
Lacking in inclusivity and diversity. This is based off like a Chinese fucking novel from a long time ago. It's like adapted from that. So these people are so fucking retarded. You play as a goddamn monkey. What are you talking about? They're like, not enough of the creatures or NPCs or female or feminine enough. And that doesn't play well when you look at this developer's history of sexism. The sexism that got made up in this dog shit hit piece article. It's been a nightmare.
It really has.
And that is now leading into people finding out a list of do's and don'ts when you get a review copy for Black Myth Wukong. Do enjoy the game. Don't insult other influencers. Use any offensive language or humor. Include politics, violence, nudity, feminist propaganda, fetishization, or other content that instigates negative discourse. Don't use trigger words like quarantine or isolation or COVID-19. Don't discuss content related to China's game industry policies, opinions, news, etc. So essentially what they're saying, and they're giving out to the reviewers of this game, just focus on the game.
Yes.
Don't bring your own fucking outward politics in it. Don't try to, don't be like, hey, this game looks good, but since China probably had something to do with COVID, don't support it. Like, this is what they're saying. Just focus on the game itself.
That's my entire interpretation of this was simply, this is a reflection of current games journalists and how they've been for the last decade. How they love to bring everything into their review that has nothing to do with the actual game. Now, again, would I agree to this? No. We don't get review copies for a reason, all right? If you look at all of those things right there outside of the offensive language humor thing, like do not insult influencers or players. So do not insult YouTubers or fans, which is essentially what all games journalism do. Do not include politics and violence and nudity and feminism. All games journalists do that. And then, not bringing COVID into it and China and all that. It's a Chinese game, Chinese developer, makes sense. This, to me, is a reflection of current games journalism right here. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would necessarily agree to this either. I've never gotten a review copy of anything in my life that I'm aware of. But yeah, you're right. This is because they know exactly what mainstream media is going to do. It's going to do the same thing that these other people have done. They're bringing in all this outside shit, a lot of lies about the company, and they're trying to push a narrative that has no basis in an actual review of the game itself.
Right.
It's because games journalists are the way that they are and that they've been attacking Black Myth Wukong for months and months now, that this is probably on these do's and don'ts lists. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, they literally just want people to focus on the game.
Yes, which is what every reviewer should be doing to begin with. Who cares who worked on it? Who cares what they've said on social media? Is the game good or not?
There have been some people that have kind of pushed back. People, I think in the UK maybe, that got copies of it, and they said there wasn't anything like this. It was just the standard, hey, these are the things you can include visuals from. Don't post any spoilers about this or that. So there is a little bit of a difference in some people saying that they got these do's and don'ts, and other people saying I didn't see that and I still got a review copy of the game. So don't know, but a lot of people are confirming that, hey, I got the game, and I also, maybe they just sent it to the people that they thought were fucking lunatics. That would actually be funny. Maybe they looked at these people and are like, wow, you're a fucking woke lunatic. Your outlet's trash. Hey, you can have it as long as you don't bring all your own identity politics and stuff into it. Maybe that's true.